Hey everybody, welcome to Face the Music. Glad that you're here today. Hey, look, I'm excited about today. Just about every episode at the very end, toward the very end, I say something like, let's just keep all this great music alive together. I'm sure those of you who followed my channel for a while have heard me say that on a number of occasions. And it's true. And today's going to be one of those times when it's not going to be about a song that I don't know, that maybe many of you don't know. I think maybe it's going to be a song that most of us are probably familiar with. If you're not familiar with it, well then, hey, you're in for a definite treat. But I think the rest of us are as well, right? Because this is one of those songs that I love, and I've loved ever since I was like a little kid, right? I mean, just fantastic. Roy Orbison and Crying. Now I know the song. I have not seen this footage because I like to feature live footage in a lot of cases, and so I found some live footage that I think will be good. I haven't seen it, like I said. But I have seen Roy Orbison in other footage, and so I think that he's always fantastic. And I'll say a couple of things about what I think about his performances after this. If it's going to be anything like what I expect it to be, then I think it's just going to be absolutely incredible. But like I said, these are the kind of songs that I think that we should not overlook. There's a lot of new artists out there. Obviously, I've featured a lot of new artists in recent weeks and months here on the channel. I've gotten to know artists like Dan Vask and Eric Grunwald and Bandmate and The Warning and Sabaton and Nightwish. A lot of these newer artists, I should say, not necessarily brand new, obviously, but newer on the scene in the past 10, 15 years or so, and some of them maybe even newer than that. I don't know, but for someone like this who's been his music's been around for decades now. He's just one of those artists that you just, every time I hear him, first of all, his voice. He's just instantaneously recognizable, really, and then just his songs are just absolutely incredible. I love to hear him sing, and this is one of my favorites from him, if not my favorite song of Roy Orbison of all time. But it's definitely one of my favorites. So no more talking. Excited about this. Here we go. This is going to be a live performance of Roy Orbison and Crying.
I was alright for a while. I could smile for a while. But I saw you last night. You held my hand so tight as you stopped to say hello. You wished me well. You couldn't tell that I've been crying over you, crying over you. Then you said so long, left me standing all alone and crying, 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 crying. It's hard to understand, but the touch of your hand can start me crying. I thought that I was over you, but it's true, so true. I love you even more than I did before, but darling, what can I do? For you don't love me, and I'll always be crying over you, crying over you. Yes, now you're gone, and from this moment on, I'll be crying, 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 and
So good. There you go. Roy Orbison live with Crying. I'm telling you right now, that was a really, really good performance. And like I said at the outset, hadn't seen that. I'm familiar with the song. I think a lot of us are. But I think that, and let me just say something. First of all, I love Roy Orbison songs. I think I've said that before. And he just got just a great voice, a great presence, even on stage. He's got such a great presence. And, and going from just his solo work all the way, to his work with the Highwaymen, Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson later in his career. He produced such great music, and music that stands the test of time. Some songs, I think that they're just going to be kind of fleeting. They'll be here for a while, maybe, who knows, a few years even. But, eventually they won't necessarily stand the test of time where, you give it another 40, 50, 60 years down the road even. And is anyone going to remember who these people are? Is anyone going to remember their songs? I want to make sure that someone like Roy Orbison isn't forgotten, because I tell you right now, just a great song, great singer, great musical artist, great musician. And I did say at the outset, I was talking about I want to say some things about his performance. When you watch him, a lot of people maybe nowadays, like maybe the younger generation, they look at him and they're like, oh, he just stands there. He doesn't do anything. He just stands there and everyone around him just standing there. I think that's really what captures the magic of his music, because he kind of reminds me a little bit of Elvis. Now, when I say that, Elvis was definitely, a showman in his own right, for sure. We know that. But there's a lot of Elvis songs where Elvis just stood there and just delivered the song. He didn't dance around the stage. He didn't move. He had his feet planted in one spot and he didn't go anywhere. But it wasn't that he had to do anything specific. It was just that his voice, his voice and the way that he sang did the talking for him, if you know what I mean. It was absolutely fantastic. And, there was those songs where Elvis was very energetic. I get it. But, there was those songs that he could just stand there and deliver the song, and you just were entranced, spellbound because of him and his voice, not because of anything that you saw, outside of him just standing there and singing. Same thing with Roy Orbison. Didn't really see him moving around a lot. Usually he had the guitar. He would stand there. He would deliver the song. But I tell you, you just want to, because of the voice and because of the song, you just want to watch him, and you just want to soak it all in, not because of anything, exciting that he's doing and what's going on around him. It's just him. And that, I think, is what makes a great artist, a great musician. Don't need a lot of, side things, fancy stuff, frills. Don't need a lot of smoke machines. Don't need a lot of carrying on. Just need a great song and a great voice and a great delivery. And Roy Orbison just provided that for all of us right there in that live performance from the Midnight Special, Crying. What a great song. I really, really enjoyed watching that performance, and I hope that you did as well. Okay, well, that's it for today's episode. As I say on every episode just about, if you're not a subscriber, do me a favor, reach over, hit that subscribe button, join this big family. Let's keep all this great music alive together. Also, check down below. I have a hashtag, Face the Music Reactions. Click on that. It'll redirect you to another page. All my previous content's there. I'm sure you'll find other great music and artists and songs and so forth that you'll enjoy as well. Set up your notifications so that whenever I drop a new episode, you'll be among the first to find out. And finally, come on back, because I have a lot more great content lined up for you. I'll see you next time right here on Face the Music. Take care.